Modern cinema turned the mosasaur into a 100-ton, 70-foot-long crocodilian monster, capable of leaping out of the ocean to drag dinosaurs into the depths. But the biological reality was more efficient and less theatrical. These animals were marine monitor lizards that maxed out at about 12 tons, leaving them physically incapable of operating without the buoyant support of the water. Finding an authentic look at these predators is complicated by the fossil market itself. Morocco is famous for mosasaur composite jaws, fakes where real teeth are glued into sand and modern bone to create a perfect specimen for tourists. To see the actual apex predator of the Cretaceous, we have to look past the CGI and the glue. The truth is found by following the trail of microscopic scars and fractured bones. These clues are hidden in unassuming places, like the deep limestone mines of Maastricht. It was here, in 1780, that workers uncovered the first giant skull of a creature the world didn't yet have a name for. By examining how these fragments are positioned within millions of years-old rock layers, researchers can reconstruct exactly how these animals swam, hunted, and eventually died. When we piece these fragments together, they tell a story that is far more violent and complex than the myths we've created. One of the most telling details of their life is found in their spine. Many mosasaur varverti contain avascular necrosis, a specific type of dead bone tissue. This pathology is the direct result of decompression sickness, or the bends. It indicates that these reptiles were regularly enduring massive, rapid pressure changes as they moved through the water column. This chart shows that this wasn't a rare accident. The percentages indicate that this was a widespread evolutionary trait across multiple mosasaur species. In many of the most successful genera, 100% of the individuals examined show this bone death. While mosasaurs were capable of surface swimming, this widespread bone scarring reveals they were aggressively and repeatedly plunging into the deep ocean to ambush their prey. Reaching that prey required a lethal anatomy. Mosasaurs possessed highly flexible lower jaws and loose skull attachments, allowing them to expand their gape and swallow large objects whole. They also had a secondary set of palatal teeth on the roof of their mouths. These acted as a ratchet, locking slippery prey like squid in place so they couldn't wriggle free while being swallowed. Their interactions with hard-shelled prey like ammonites are a point of intense scientific scrutiny, specifically regarding circular puncture marks often found on these fossils. One theory suggests the mosasaur used precise, controlled bites to punch V-shaped holes in the shell. Others argue these marks are actually the scars of ancient limpets, which were mistaken for bite patterns. The ongoing argument over these microscopic shell punctures shows that paleontology is an active investigation, where even a single mark on a shell can change our understanding of the food chain. For decades, it was assumed that mosasaurs were like sea turtles, forced to return to sheltered beaches or near-shore nurseries to lay their eggs. The evidence that changed this perspective was found deep within the century-old storage collections of the Yale Peabody Museum. Researchers identified tiny fossil specimens that had been misidentified as ancient marine birds for a century. They actually belonged to the youngest mosasaurs ever found. These neonatal fossils were found in open ocean deposits. This proves that mosasaurs were born fully adapted to the deep sea, having finally severed their evolutionary tether to the land. All of these adaptations, the deep diving, the ratcheting jaws, and the open ocean birth, culminated in the final form of the lineage, Mosasaurus hoffmanii. Stretching up to 58 feet long, it utilized a battering ram snout and complex cutting teeth to outcompete almost every other marine predator on Earth. But this specialization became a trap when the asteroid hit. It didn't kill mosasaurs directly, it wiped out the marine phytoplankton, triggering a bottom-up starvation cascade that left the ocean's apex predators with nothing to eat. They had spent millions of years aggressively re-engineering their bodies to conquer the sea, reaching the very peak of their power just as their food source vanished. The story written in these fractured bones of an animal that hacked its own biology to master the deep, only to starve in the dark, is a far more profound ending for the Cretaceous's greatest hunter.